Well, hello everybody. All right, as stated in my last video, we would get more props over here. So I have these two suckers right here, and there you see them. There's a wolf, and there's a boar. The only thing wrong with it is this, but you could fix that easily. And he's missing some paint. But other than that, I mean, he's in basically perfect shape from the standpoint of, you know, his whole structure. And this one is in great shape. So we have these two pieces right here that are for sale. That is along with everything else that's for sale. And I want to come over here. This spider is for sale. It's from Gorglore. See, you stand behind it and it looks like a spider's on you. So that's for sale. This Velociraptor right here, I can sell it. I think I paid $2,800 for it. You just plug it in and it goes. But I'll sell that. I don't really need it. So that's for sale as well. Now, I have a specific topic in mind today. And hold on a second. I'm here right now if you want to come down. So anyway, moving along. Sorry, I had to text somebody. So you'll notice that we've gotten a lot of shelves emptied. And we're really plowing away trying to get this whole place back to being a shop. Okay, so if you watch my previous video, because I'm not going back through the haunted house to show you all the props that are for sale, you can watch the previous video, and here's two more that we're gonna add to the mix. So there you have it. Now we have some other stuff that maybe you'd be interested in. But then I was also thinking maybe I'd be interested in maybe trying to fix it. So look at this contraption over here. You're gonna love this. You see this wheelchair? This was actually my idea, and I'm trying to remember who I had make it for me. Thought it was Distortions, but see, you push on this and then it jumps out. See that? And I don't know who I bought it from, but I had somebody make it for me. The body's gone. You just put a body on it and your actors press on that and it jumps in their face. I really don't remember who made it. Totally escapes me. So anyway, today's topic, I have a topic for today. If I was the president of the Haunted House Association, what would I do different than they're doing now? And would it be worth it? But before I even get into it, I want to show you, I was going to go up and show you our alien, but maybe not. Maybe I was going to go look at the new actors room, but I don't know, maybe we'll save it for another video. But you can see, like, when I was doing tours around here, this was all filled up with junk. And now everything is starting to get put back together. This little metal shop area has been somewhat organized. I say somewhat, not totally. But what we have to do in here yet is we got to go through this stuff right here. We got to put all this stuff up and away. We're going to throw these away right here. We're going to throw these away right here. And our big new thing is to kind of work our way through this debacle. And we're going to move this red shelf over into our other shop. And we're going to go through this big mess right here. And this mess right here. Now, I should say also that this used to be our original actors room, and you can see that there is quite a bit of props in here. Look at that right back there. There's like a Greek goddess, Greek godhead. This is a chair costume from Scare Factory. And there's like all kinds of stuff in here. Tons of speakers that just recently got moved in. A whole bunch of actor props, costumes that all still need to go upstairs. More costumes that need to go upstairs. And look at this, even more that are still needing to go upstairs. And you know what this is back here? Look at this. Look at all these clown guns. I definitely would be interested in selling some of these if you're interested in buying some. And look, there's even more silicone masks. This is probably going to find its way into the garbage. But look at this over here. I bought all these panels from Ghost Ride, I don't know, 6 years ago. They're just sitting here. You know, it's kind of disgusting that we buy all this stuff and then we never use it. But it is what it is. Now I am going to use it, just FYI. So that's not for sale. I'm going to use it on my new haunted house that we're going to build above TerraVision. So let me give you a quick update on that. I did get a wire transfer today for the maze of TerraVisions, and I'm actually getting a little nervous about this, but we are going to take it down on the 16th, and we got a bunch of people coming. You know what this is right here? This is an in-box Metallica limited edition remastered. And pinball is really in the shitter right now. But that particular one, I paid $11,350 for it, and they're selling right now on the internet for about $18. So I could actually flip that for a profit. So that's everything that we have for sale. Hey Adam, is it all vacuumed up? All vacuumed? Oh, I know. I'm saying, is it all vacuumed? Okay. I'm making a video about everything we have for sale. So, Adam, we're just going to go through this nightmare right here. All right, I'll be right there. So, really quickly, let's go for a walk and let's go take a look at our new actor's room. And let's talk about today's topic. If I was the president of the Haunted House Association, what would I do different? I would do a lot of things different, that's for sure. And I don't mean that as a cheap shot, as the people who are running it now, the people who ran it the year before. I will say that some of the people who have run this version of the Haunted House Association, in my opinion, are complete buffoons, because they did it for all the wrong reasons. They had bizarre agendas, bizarre ideas, and clearly it didn't work. The current president, Spencer Terry, super nice guy, super passionate about the Haunted House Association, clearly, but I don't think he's going to be the president. And somebody told me who the new president is, and somebody told me, and I don't know this for a fact, it's going to be another person who doesn't own a haunted house. This is what I was told. I don't know. I don't follow it. I have nothing against the Haunted House Association, other than the fact that I think in a lot of ways it's just a popularity contest. But we're going to get into it in a second. So this is our actor's room that we are working on, and it is far from done. Okay, so this is our board where it lists the different scenes and who's working in them. This would have been like the last night we were open. This is now going to be the makeup stations. And by the way, this is not done, okay? And you can see refrigerator. It's not going there, FYI. It's going in here. But as you can see, what a catastrophe this is, because all we've really been doing is moving stuff up here. So now we have to try to start organizing it. And see, you got your makeup, you know, like where you store everything in there. These are lockers for the actors. It's not where they go. They're just brought up here for now. And then you can see there's going to be a lot of chairs for actors to sit and stand. Those lockers, you can see there's already one set over there. Another set will probably go over there. Another bin for all of the makeup supplies. And you can see down here, there's your airbrush kits, air compressors, there's your hair dryers, you know, it's all here. And I think what I'm gonna do is, you see this wall back here, I'll put posters on the walls, and I think we're gonna put some TVs in. You see some costumes. Those masks are not going to stay, just FYI. And our sign-in desk is either, I think we said it was gonna be over here, but I'm not sure. Then when you come over here, you can see we've been putting up racks to hang the costumes. You can see we have plenty of room to hang more costumes. Not done with that. And all the masks that used to be on the walls upstairs, as you can see, they're all down here now. And then we put this grid up, and we'll be putting a lot of those up just to hang more and more masks, okay? So, it's not done, okay? Next week, we will be paying somebody to come up here every single day to start putting all of this together. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Now I'm gonna grab a chair that swivels, because I have like ADD or something. I can't stay still, so I can't be in a regular chair. And let's talk really fast about the association, because I think it's an interesting topic. Let's talk about the plans for the darkness. Let's talk about everything. So there's a couple of new developments too with the darkness. There's a scene, it's downstairs on the first floor, that I want to do as well. And I had two people come up and we talked about it and kind of measured it and talked about plans to build a scene. And I just told them flat out, you know, like we can help them with the CNC, but they would have to almost essentially build it on their own with me working with them, and then them being able to work with our guy that does all the CNC stuff. And they're going to get back to me. And so we might build one new scene downstairs. I want to build the scene downstairs. I really think it's going to be great if it can get done. Both of these people are like foam carving people, because there's going to be a lot of foam carving involved in building this scene. So we'll see what happens, and we'll follow that development as it goes on. And then the other thing that's going to be new here at the Darkness is this actor's room, as we start to put it all back together, which is exactly what we plan to do over the next week, because we open for Krampus here at the Darkness next Saturday, okay? So we have to have it all done by next week. So we plan on getting it done, you know, next week. So that's what's going on. Now, if we do a haunt tour, and this is, we're talking about the behind the scenes tour now, it would include the LEMP, and it would be open, this is all preliminary, at 4:30 p.m. And it's optional, you don't have to do it. So from 4:30 to 5:30, we will have the LEMP open. And then from 5:30 to 6:30, you can swing over to the escape room, and the mini golf, the whole shebang will be open. You can see our new alien escape room, which actually is really cool. And maybe I'll walk up there, I'll walk and talk, how about that? And we'll go up there and we'll see what's going on there. But, you know, to stop right there and talk about the Alien, the Alien is going to be done construction-wise. It's not done, okay? But I can promise you it would be done by next Friday. So we are in the process of getting someone up here to paint it. And then after we paint it, that's when we'll start putting in all of the plexiglass and the LEDs, and we'll start lighting it. We'll hang the 2 animatronics that we have, which are alien type of animations from Unit 70. So we'll start doing all that and kind of sort of getting it ready and putting in the floor at that point, and then maybe even doing the lighting and whatever. And then it'll be further along, waiting for like puzzles and puzzles only. So this will give us 8 escape rooms. So if it gets done by Transworld, which I would hope it would, we would have 8 escape rooms open for Transworld. We have expanded our hours, but when you do the behind the scenes tour, you would be able to walk through the Alien. You would be able to walk through our brand new haunted hotel, our Jurassic, whatever. It's just going to be wide open. You can come, you can grab a golf ball and a golf club. You can play mini golf. We're going to put the pinballs on free play, you name it. And that's the plan is that's from 5:30 to 6:30. At 6:30, we're going to serve dinner. It'll probably be barbecue. And we will be doing a seminar. And so I haven't even thought about a special guest to speak with me. And basically, it's really not even a seminar. It's a Q&A. It's a Q&A. You just ask questions and we answer it. Last year we had Grim Life Collective, and that really worked out great. The year before I had Dwayne Sandburn. So I've got a couple of people in mind. I've got to ask them and see if they would do it with me. And so yeah, so that's the plan. That's the plan. And then we would let everybody into the darkness. Now, what would you see at the darkness that would be different than last year? Well, first off, let me explain this. You see this actor's room. See, here's the stairs that goes up, right? You see that? And then here's the stairs to come up. So you see when you get to this landing, it's like in the middle. That's where the actor's room is. So we're going to get the actor's room done, and it'll look really nice. It'll have posters on the wall and everything. And so we'll have the door open and we'll have somebody in here. So you'll be able to come into the room, look around our actor's room. We've never done that before on any tour. And then hopefully we have the new scene downstairs. We have a couple of new animations that we bought that we think will make the darkness like a lot cooler, that are gonna go upstairs. But for the most part, those two will be pretty much the same, except for the one new scene downstairs. And then, of course, you'll get to see the actor's room, which we've never done that before. But then, when you get to the old TerraVisions, it will be completely brand new. And so that'll be a big overhaul, big renovation. And then when you come out into our museum area, another big change will be the gift store. Will literally be about 25% bigger than it was before. That'll be the final expansion of it, because we've expanded it now like 4 times. So this will be the final one. It'll be landlocked after this. Now, I do want to mention that the new haunted house, if I haven't already said this, once I build the building the way that we are talking about with getting the wedge, the new haunted house will double up as an escape room. And I've already got some ideas. I'm going to advertise it as the goriest escape room on planet Earth, because it will be. And so I think people will love that idea. And so that's why when I replace Frankenstein, I don't want to do another horror game. I want to do something more fun. And so I'm going to replace Frankenstein, and when I do, it's going to be something more family friendly. So anyway, there's the updates, and the last update is we're going to take TerraVisions down. We'll have all the props out no later than like Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you wanted to buy these props, especially if you want to buy them all, you would just show up on Tuesday or Wednesday. That would be like December the, like if you showed up December the 17th or 18th, we'll be here, we'll be working, and you could just load your truck up and out the door you go. So there's your notice. If you want this stuff, you just come on the 17th, the 18th, the 19th, whatever, and we'll load up your truck. And we will be making videos as we take it down, and we will be updating as things are sold or things are gone. But if you are looking for clown stuff, we have a ton of it. So with that being said, moving over to the topic, if I ran the Haunted House Association. Now, first thing I want to say is because some people asked me recently through, I think it was through Facebook, because they said that there was some announcement from Transworld about some seminars. I don't know. I did not see it. And they asked me why I am not doing seminars, or why am I not like included in some of these announcements for seminars. Is there a problem? Like, is Transworld mad at me? Does somebody that runs the seminars just don't want to have me there? Maybe nobody buys my seminars, whatever it is. So I've actually had a couple people reach out to me and ask me if I would be doing a seminar at Transworld, and asked me why I haven't done any seminars. And I want to bring this topic up because actually it has a lot to do with me talking about the association as well. No. So the answer is no. Nobody blocked me from doing seminars at Transworld. There is no problem with Transworld. I went to Jen and Rich's wedding reception. There is no issue there whatsoever. So I guess that people assume that I'm having a problem with them, and that's why you don't see me doing seminars. No, I've chosen not to do seminars. It's not that Transworld hasn't asked me. They have asked me, okay? I haven't done a seminar for them since, I think the last one I did was 2019, maybe. So I haven't done a seminar for Transworld in, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, okay? So I know that people think that, there's some sort of problem, but there's no problem whatsoever. They ask me every year. They asked me last year. They even asked me like a month prior to Transworld happening. They said, hey, we've got a room blocked off for you. They even told me a topic they wanted me to do. Asked me if I would do it. And I just told them that I wasn't interested. And so yeah, there's no problem at all. It's just I'm not interested in doing them. And I did them for years, and hopefully I help people with the seminars, but I just feel like I'm doing a better job helping you with this vlog than I would doing a seminar at a trade show. So that's it. When am I going to do a seminar again? For Transworld, for IAPA. I did a seminar for IAPA before. I've done seminars for Amusement Expo before. It's just, I'm not like actively trying to do seminars for anyone, to be honest with you. It has nothing to do with any kind of issue. So hopefully that clears that up. And will I do a seminar again? Well, I feel like when I do this thing at the Darkness, I'm kind of doing a seminar, so I'm just leaving it at that. So in the future, if I decide to do a seminar again, I don't know. I have no idea. It's not on my radar. And for people who don't know me that well, I not really like the greatest people person, to be honest with you. It has a lot to do with my childhood and my relationship, or lack thereof, with my father, who was crazy, and I'm just not like the greatest person. being around a bunch of people that I don't know. And anyway, sometimes I feel like just a little uncomfortable, out of my skin. I'm not like, even though I'm doing these videos, you think, oh, he's going out of his way for attention. No, I'm actually not. I'm just trying to help the haunted house industry. That's the only reason. And I want to help the haunted house industry because I made Hauntworld magazines. I made videos. I did seminars, but I feel more comfortable like when I was making the videos and just making the videos. And we were selling the how-to videos. And, it's kind of like I'm talking directly to you, but I'm not in a room full of a bunch of people. And even when we do the seminar for the darkness tours that we've been doing, I'm just telling you, I feel extremely uncomfortable. Okay, like very, very uncomfortable, and totally not myself. Okay, because if you ever like get to know me and hang out with me, I'm like very funny and very witty and dry sense of humor, make people laugh. And then when I do these like seminars, I'm, just very, very uncomfortable. But I'm doing them anyway. It's not like I can't. It's that I prefer not to. Let's put it that way. So, that leads me to the next subject of, the association. Because this is an interesting topic as well. Because I have actually had on numerous occasions, when I say numerous, I'm talking like, I don't even know, over the last 5-6 years, I don't even know, 50, 60 times somebody has said something to me. In fact, Transworld themselves said something to me about how they thought, it was, I don't want to use the word ridiculous, but, whatever, they thought, hey, the Haunted House Association gives out Lifetime Achievement Awards, and obviously they're never going to give you one, Larry. Again, me going back to a popularity contest. And so I think they said something to me, I don't know, it was like 3 years ago, 4 years. So we're going to give you a Lifetime Achievement Award, meaning Transworld, and we want you to be, because they have some sort of event, I think it's on Wednesday, we want you to speak in front of everyone and accept this Lifetime Achievement Award. First time Transworld would have ever given anyone this award. And they wanted to give it to me. And I think mainly because it's kind of because other people have said this to other people as well about the Haunted House Association giving out Lifetime Achievement Awards, and they have never given one to me. And so they wanted to give me one. And my exact response to Jen was, I really appreciate that, but I never did how-to videos or produced Hauntworld.com and chatted on message boards with people or spent hours helping people. I never did any of that stuff for any other reason than you just kind of have a passion for it. And so I wasn't looking for recognition or awards or anything like that. So I told her, no, that's okay. I would rather not. And this goes back to talking about like seminars, like doing or not doing a seminar. So I just literally told her, no, that I really do appreciate it, but that's okay. And I do think it's ridiculous that the Haunted House Association has literally given Lifetime Achievement Awards to people who aren't even in the haunted house industry anymore, and they haven't been for decades. But then, like, I had mentioned this to them one time because I was just kind of curious. I just thought, like, is this still like a popularity contest? A bunch of people who don't feel comfortable having somebody who, achieved something, they've achieved nothing. So we, and he's a showboat or whatever that you want to say. It's like, because I just find it kind of curious. And my response that I got was, well, you're not a member of the association. So because you're not a member, that's why you haven't been nominated. But that was really funny because there was a lot of people who got the Lifetime Achievement Award. They're not members, or they're not even in the haunted house industry. So, I just took it as like, oh, okay. Larry, there's people who like you. There's people who don't like you. So we'd just rather stay out of that. I don't know. But the truth of the matter is I just don't care. I really just don't care. But I've always found it strange that the person who created the haunted house industry's first public relations campaign. And I did that when I was the president of IHA. IHA was like the biggest disaster ever. And it was literally falling apart. There was scandals all over the place. So they literally said, well, Larry, you're the biggest critic. You take it over. And I did. And I was the president for 2 years. I raised tens of thousands of dollars. When I say tens of thousands, it was tens of thousands. I put an end to this whole thing. If you join, we're going to give you a book bag, or we're going to give you a free video, or we're going to give you this little briefcase thing. I put an end to all that. And I said, if we're not doing anything that doesn't benefit the whole haunted house industry, anybody can buy their own video, they can buy their own book bag. We're not doing any of that. And so until we have an agenda, we're not spending a cent. And then you know what I did? I launched the industry's first ever national public relations campaign. It was so successful. We were on Good Morning America. We were on the Today Show. USA Today used to be, the biggest newspaper in the world, and we were on the front cover of their entertainment section. We got so much publicity, it was literally insane. And that program cost about $40,000. So that means Larry raised $40,000. I also found the company to hire, and I managed the whole program. And our industry blew up from that, because I was the one who kept saying, I'm sick and tired of seeing no stories done on haunted houses, or we're compared to Satan worshipers, or there was lots of stories out there about people who've opened haunts, but they were pedophiles. They had mirrors in the floor to see kids' underwear or whatever. And so I was sick of all that. And I was like, this is crazy. We need to go after this. And it wasn't until we did this PR program that there started to be TV shows about the haunted house industry. Ideally, distortions or just documentaries. And every haunt was on the Travel Channel to everything in between. It was everything in between. And so with that being said, I started that. And of course, as you might know, I, started Hauntworld.com, magazines, videos, how-to videos. Nobody shared information about their haunted house until I started doing Hauntworld videos. And then the people's egos got the best of them. And then everybody was trying to send me videos. I never knew I was going to make 19 of them, which, by the way, we've uploaded all online. But not trying to pat myself on the back, because that's what it sounds like. It's like a parade of complimenting myself. The point is that I've done a lot for the haunted house industry, a lot, okay? And sometimes I have stepped on some eggs and created some omelets, and some people didn't like that. But I'm very outspoken, and I've always shared my opinion on exactly what I think you should do, because I know how hard it is, and I know what a struggle it is. And so I'm just trying to help people. But like when you've done all the things, I ran the association for 2 years. The current association, I actually started that as well. And everybody will agree with this. And I gave them the URL they had, but they were mad at me because I didn't give them the other URL that I had, which was hauntedhouseassociation.org. And I said, I'm just not giving it to you. I just gave you hauntedattractionassociation.com. I'm like, what else do you want? And then as the last year I was actually a member of it, I think I also gave them a check for like $5,000 so they could develop their own website. So I've always been supportive of the Haunted House Association. I've always been supportive of the things it could accomplish. What I'm not a fan of is that it, like in most cases, it's been a popularity contest focused on things like the Oscars, okay? I'm not that person. I'm the person who wants to get things done where, and let me explain this to you, where you take everybody's money, you pull it together, and then you accomplish something that you can't do on your own. Those are the only kinds of things that I want to accomplish. And I don't want, it's not to say that I don't think Oscars is a good idea, or Lifetime Achievement Awards aren't a good idea, or this or that or whatever. That's not it at all, because the fact of the matter is the concept for the Oscars, that was mine as well. I'm never going to get credit for it. But when I was originally planning that out, I was presenting it to this new association when it first started, that people would submit like their commercials, like their audio commercials, their video commercials. They would submit things, and then people could vote on it, because you could upload these videos and people could vote, and you could have like promo of the year, radio commercial of the year, logo of the year, whatever. And my concept was that when you get people together, they would be able to learn from the nominees, okay? Because think about the Oscars. You know, you show the 10 best movies of the year, and people get to see that. So you would see those 10 nominees, and then you would announce the winner. And so for me, it would be a learning experience coupled with an award. So that's how I wanted to do it. And so, but I don't know exactly how it works today. But anyway, I'm rambling, but let me get back to the point. So whenever I was baffled. I'm not really baffled. I just think it's a popularity contest. Some people don't like me, I guess. And so we don't want you in. And it's fine with me. I don't care. The same way I don't care if I do a seminar at Transworld. I just don't care. But in all fairness, I have to be clear. So for the first time ever, Spencer Terry came to me and said, Larry, we need you to not do whatever you're doing every Saturday at Transworld, you know, when you open the darkness, because we want to give you an award. And I was like, and, you know, make a speech. And he said, you know, we want to give you a Lifetime Achievement Award. So it was offered to me for 2025. And I literally told him that, you know, it's kind of offensive, not him saying it to me, but it's kind of offensive that when you think about all the people who've been nominated or won it and so on and so forth, and like literally they've been doing this for a decade plus, whatever. Oh, and then we're going to get around to you. It's just like, I don't know. I just felt like, you know, it's like, I'm over it. I don't really care. And I told him too, it's like, I really don't like speaking in front of a bunch of people. And so, yeah, I'm like, nah, I mean, it's okay. It's all right. Seriously. It's not gonna, I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it, but it's okay. It's no big deal. You can just give it to someone else and so on and so forth. And I haven't heard back from him. You know, like in other words, he hasn't circled back around and say, hey, we're still going to give it to you, or have you changed your mind or something like that. So it's just like, it's no big deal. I don't care. But the topic here is what I would do differently than they're doing. But I really felt like I needed to explain, okay, where I'm at, okay, with why I'm not doing seminars, why I feel like I was never offered a Lifetime Achievement Award, but then I actually was by Transworld, and later I was like just a few months ago. And so it's not that it hasn't been offered, because it has, and I appreciate it. I really do. But I'm just like over it. Okay. It's not why I'm making these videos. It's not why I'm doing this video about the association. The reason why I'm doing the video about the association is because I think the association could be great for the haunted house industry. But you got to get over these petty, you know, like hard feelings, like we don't like this person, but this person likes that person. So you get a board where, you know, like some of them are home haunters, some of them are whatever, and they're not owner operators. And it's just like, hey, you know, we want everyone to be included. We don't want no exclusion. We don't want an association that's completely run by only the people who own and operate the attractions. That's what I think goes on, okay? So that's not the kind of association I would want to be a part of, and it's not because I don't feel like there's a space for all kinds of people. It's just that my agenda would be pro-business owner. And I believe that any association their agenda should be 1,000% pro-business owner. And I should say owner operator, because when you think about a Six Flags, they don't really specifically have an owner. And so obviously you can have people who are in the business making a living off of operating. So you don't have to be an owner, but you need to be an operator, because we're talking apples to apples. We're talking turkey, okay? So here's the thing, and that's why I thought it was really important for me to go into that long tirade about the popularity contests and things of this nature, because that's not what I'm into. That's not what I'm doing it for. So I do appreciate Spencer Terry for stepping up and being the president of the Haunted House Association, I think the last couple of years. And I've talked to him a couple times, and he's very enthusiastic about it, and he's very into it. And I know other people are really excited and into it. But I can tell you, in my opinion, see, this is me talking, not them, not anyone else. Do I think it's a success? Has it been successful? And in my opinion, it's no. Okay. But I'm also the type of person that one time had a baseball team of 8-year-olds, and we were playing 10-year-olds, and we got beat 10-1. And I wanted to win that tournament so bad. And guess what? We ended up winning it against the team that beat us 10-1. And I gave my kids a speech and said, because they were all, upset that they just got beat 10-1, and we were a really good team, but we were playing 2 years up. But this is my mentality. My mentality is that I said to these kids in front of their parents, there's no saying. It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. Everybody knows that line. And I literally said to 8-year-olds, but that line is for losers. Okay, I'm just telling you, that line is for losers, because losers make excuses. Okay, and I'm not in the excuse business. I'm in the result business. I don't like excuses. So even talking to 8-year-olds, I literally told them, we're not going to make excuses. We're going to work our way into the title game. We're going to play them again, and we're going to kick their ass. And guess what happened? We worked our way to the title game, and we kicked their ass. And guess what? My parents literally came to me and said, Larry, for a minute we thought you were insane, because there was no way you could beat those 10-year-olds with 8-year-olds. They were too big. And when you told those kids we would play them again and we would beat them, and that it wasn't whether you win or lose and how you play the game, but no, that line's for losers, we thought you were a quack. And you won. You won. And how did I win? Because I realized exactly what they were doing to expose the fact that we were 8. And so we took that away from them, and we didn't fall for their silly bait of throwing to bases when they stole, and they literally stole us on at will. And it's a long story, but I actually have that game on videotape. It's my favorite game of all time, because that was the first time the team that I coached all the way through 17 ever won a tournament. But that's how I think. I don't think losing is not an option for me. It doesn't matter what I do it to win. Win, win, win. And if I was the president of the Haunted House Association, it would be to win. It would be to win. It would be to accomplish something that the association hasn't done before. And here's the problem, okay? It's not that guys like Spencer Terry or the previous president or the previous president before that literally didn't have the ideas, and Larry has them all and they have none. That has nothing to do with it. The problem is that you have business owners and operators who are running their own business. That's their dedication. That's where they spend their time. Does this make sense? And so this association is really kind of like a, get together, have some calls, maybe do something here or there, in between me focusing on my family, my friends, my business, and all those things. And it's totally understandable. So let me explain how IAPA is operated. You have a board of people in the industry, and then you have people who work year-round for the association. The people who work year-round paid for the association are not the owners and operators. They are the people who manage the association, they run the trade show, and they work at the discretion of the board. Okay, the board directs them what to do, how to do it, and so it's really run by the owner operators. It's funded by the owner operators. So if we're going to get the Haunted House Association to be successful, and it doesn't matter who's the president, it really doesn't matter. You have to have money. So that's the first problem with the Haunted House Association. They have no money. And so when you look at an association like IAPA, where did they get the money? From running a trade show. And most industries, the trade shows are owned and operated by the industry. And this particular industry, it's run by Transworld. And there's a good reason why it's run by Transworld, because nobody believed that it actually could work. So nobody was doing it until Transworld did it. So now they're doing it. They put their money in it and they're doing it. The haunted houses industry was too fractured, just like the association. It was too many egos, like the association, to ever just like step aside, work together, and for one purpose and one goal, and that's for the betterment of people who own and make a living operating haunted attractions. And that's where IHA was at. It was just chock full of home haunters, actors, and everything else. And you have to have the ability to literally sit there and talk about your numbers, about your expenses, about how much you pay for this and how much you pay for that. You're not going to do that with people who aren't your peers, okay? And so the biggest problem with the Haunted House Association is they have no money. They have no mechanism to raise money. And they don't have enough members charging enough money to actually pay for a full-time staff. So if you were going to make the Haunted House Association actually work and be able to do super positive things for the haunted house industry, guess what you're going to need? You're going to need money, okay? How are you going to raise that money? Well, there's only one way, really, and that's with a trade show. But we're not doing a trade show, so what should we do? What would I do? If the association came to me and said, Larry, will you be the president of the Haunted House Association? And we want to know what your plan is. We want to see, a board of goals that you want to achieve. And we want to know how you're going to achieve them. Well, the very first thing I would do is raise money. I would raise a lot of money because you need a full-time staff. You need a board of smart people directing full-time employees to do things that you want done on the behalf of the membership, or let's say the industry, the people who own and operate or make a living making haunted houses. So the first thing that I would do is exactly what IAPA does. They have what they call a Family Fun Center summer meeting, okay? That summer meeting costs $1,000. And if you own a family fun center, you can pay $1,000 and you can go. And they have events, they have seminars, they have like a few vendors that hand out brochures and things of this nature. So the very first thing I would do is a summer meeting. And the summer meeting would move from city to city every year, where you would set up in a hotel and you would rent all of their ballrooms and everything else, and you can have like a small vendor sponsorship room where like a vendor could like have like a little table, hand out brochures and whatnot, and you could talk to vendors. But the whole event would be about meetings. Okay, you would have meetings and you would have discussions about, should we do everything as time ticketing? Should we do everything as dynamic pricing? Do you think we've charged too much? We would talk about digital marketing. We would talk about, there could be whole discussions about nothing but how to hire more actors or hire this or that or whatever. Whole seminar meetings where you're talking about nothing but safety. And you would have some really talented people like, hosting these different rooms and these different conversations. Then you would have like dinner and you'd have drinks and people would mingle and they would talk. There would be no trade show. It would be a summer meeting and you would charge people $1,000 for this. this. If you literally got 100 people to do it at $1,000, you're talking about $100,000. So if you could get 300 people to do it, you're talking about 300,000. Well, see, now we're talking. Now we are talking about hiring full-time people to do the bidding of the board and work on a daily basis. Okay, at the discretion of the board, literally producing content and information gathering, or working on projects and everything else. So if I was the president of the association, I would try to galvanize the industry around joining the association and then producing a summer meeting. And no, I would not have home haunters and actors and so on and so forth hosting these events. And no, they wouldn't be allowed to come. No offense, okay? You would have to prove, number one, you'd have to be a member, and number two, you'd have to prove you either own or operate a professional haunted attraction. That's who can come, because we want people to be wide open and talk about numbers, talk about, everything and anything between, because that's the only way we're going to learn from each other. We could have a whole conversation about dynamic pricing. Should we do dynamic pricing? Should we be open more days? And do you know what else we could do? Let me just give you an example. If I was the president of the association, one of the things I would do is I would get 10, 15 haunted houses to send me, that's right, send me their ticketing, like Excel files, okay? So like we would try to get every region of the country covered, okay? Now they wouldn't send it to me, they would send it to an independent third party. They would actually send it to the people we're paying to run the association for us, okay? So they would send it into them, and we would coordinate the most successful, comprehensive survey of our customers that's ever been produced. And in order to do that, the people giving up this information have to trust who's getting it, okay? And then we would be able to produce the most comprehensive information that would literally tell you, okay, how much is too much to charge? What kind of things would you like to see in a haunted house? Is it just about scares, or what else is there? I mean, it would be the most comprehensive survey that's ever been produced. And the questions have to be produced by people who own and operate successful haunted houses. This information would then be given to the people who come to the summer meeting, making it all worthwhile to pay that $1,000. This is what I would do if I was the president of the Haunted House Association. Now, I'm not the president. I'm not lobbying to be the president. I'm merely saying that if we want this association to be successful, which let me tell you right now, breaking news, I would love for it to be successful. But in my mind, it's only successful not if it produces some little newsletter, not because they have Oscars, all good things, but only if they're literally taking the resources of the industry, which means the money that the haunted houses have, and putting it to work where people can work on this project 24/7, 362 days a year. Full-time staff working at the directive of the board. And the board should be made up of only people who own or operate a haunted house. That's what I would do. Now, some people wouldn't like that, okay, because they would feel excluded. But look, if you're trying to make the haunted houses more successful so they can pay more to their staff, they can hire more year-round people, guess what haunted houses need to do? They need to get it right. You need to get it right every time, because you have a short window to be successful. The more information you have, the better choices you can make. And so that's where the Haunted House Association could really play a role, but they need full-time people. So let me be clear, because this video is ending right now. I am not opposed in any way to anything any of the previous people who've managed and the people who are going to manage it in the future have done. But I just don't feel it's been successful because they haven't figured out how to raise funds and then put those funds towards hiring full-time people to do things that I can't do by myself. Because if you're going to get an accurate, say, survey, You need to send this survey out to 100,000, 200,000 people in regions all across the country to get an accurate reading, okay? Because you could send out 200,000 and you might only get 3%, 4% to respond. So it's no different than when they do polling for presidential elections, for example. That's what we need to do. We also could accomplish things like group insurance, where every member is pulled into a pool and getting a cheaper price on insurance. We could also have a healthcare program. There's so many things that we could do, but guess what? We can't do anything if we don't have a full-time staff. So it's not to blame any of the presidents before, but you may not like my style. You might not like how I present it. You may not like some of the things I say because I'm so blunt. But am I wrong? Post a comment. Tell me I'm wrong. Explain to me how I'm wrong, that this association is the majority of the haunted house owners and operators are not members. Okay? We need their money. And we need to be able to host events where people feel like I can pay $1,000 for that and I will get something out of it. I will make my business more successful. And in order to get people to pay $1,000, the speakers have to be successful people. And sometimes when you're kind of in a group where you feel like, oh, I might get excluded if we include this person or that person, you got to get over that. You got to get over that. Okay? Because people will part with their money when they feel like, oh, I'm really going to learn something. I'm not saying that the people in there aren't the exact people you would get to do these things. I'm just saying in general. Okay? So that's what I think about the Haunted House Association and the role they could play to make the industry better. This would be something I would be totally supportive of. And do I think some of these people that have been running it, like Spencer Terry, could accomplish these things? Absolutely. But you got to be willing to do it. You got to be willing to go out there and do the hard work and make it happen. With that being said, the only way we're going to make the association successful is if we raise money. Take care.